You ever sit down, you're ready to work, and then poof, next thing you know, you're just scrolling on your phone? Yeah, if that sounds a little too familiar, trust me, you are not alone. So today, let's talk about how we can actually build an architecture for our attention.
I mean, it's a struggle for pretty much everyone, right? We all want to get into that state of deep work, but it feels like distractions are just constantly pulling us away. So what is actually going on inside our brains?
Okay, so before we can start building better habits, we've got to understand the enemy. And here's the thing, the enemy isn't some lack of discipline on your part. No, it's actually a trap, and it's one that our own brains help set for us.
So check this out, because this completely reframes the whole problem. Getting distracted? It is not a personal failure. It's actually a biological feature. You see, your brain is hardwired to conserve energy. It's kind of lazy by design. So when it's faced with a tough task, its natural instinct is to look for an easier, more comfortable path out.
And these are those easy paths, right? Scrolling social media, checking messages, watching some random video, even just daydreaming. All of these things require basically zero mental effort, but they give us that quick little hit of stimulation or comfort. So when you're staring down a challenging task, it's no wonder your brain tries to escape to one of these.
And as if that wasn't enough, on top of our own internal wiring, we're living in a world that is literally designed to break our concentration. I mean, think about it. Every ping, every buzz, every little notification. It's like a tiny hook trying to grab a piece of your attention. We are fighting a constant uphill battle against overstimulation.
And here is the absolute kicker. Get this. The real cost of a 1-minute distraction isn't just 1 minute. It can take up to 25 minutes for your brain to get back into that deep focus state. That's because every time you switch tasks, your brain has to unload all the old information and then load up a whole new set. That mental reboot is exhausting, and that's why even a tiny interruption has such a massive, massive cost. That is the trap.
So how in the world do we fight back against this? Well, for years, we've been told the same thing, right? Just try harder, use more willpower. But here's the problem. Willpower is a finite resource. It's like a muscle that gets tired the more you use it. So what if relying on willpower is the very reason we keep failing?
This next idea is maybe the single most important mindset shift you can make. It's all about this quote: distraction is not about willpower, it's about design. You don't stay focused by gritting your teeth and forcing it. No, you stay focused by creating an environment where focusing is the natural, easy choice.
Let's really look at this comparison. The myth, the old way, is all about willpower and force. It's a constant struggle, right? It's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. You might be able to do it for a little while, but eventually you're going to get tired and that ball is going to pop right back up to the surface. The reality, the new way, is all about design and systems. It's about working with your brain, not against it. Building systems that just guide you towards concentration without all that effort.
So let's just stop the cycle of blaming ourselves, okay? It's not your fault that you get distracted in an environment that's designed to be distracting. The real power comes when you shift your mindset from self-criticism to strategically building a better system for yourself.
All right, so how do we actually build these systems? Well, it all starts with the space around you. We're talking both physical and digital.
The single most important step you can take is this: remove the triggers that pull you off track. Simple as that.
And here are 4 super simple, concrete things you can do right now. Step 1, silence your phone and, this is key, put it out of reach. Across the room is great. Step 2, close all those unnecessary browser tabs. Step 3, turn off any notifications that aren't absolutely essential. And 4, just tidy up your physical workspace. Seriously, a clean desk really does lead to a clearer mind.
And here's the simple psychology behind why this is so effective. Your brain can't crave what it doesn't see. You know, out of sight, out of mind isn't just some old cliche. It's a fundamental principle of how our attention works. When you remove those visual and auditory cues, you pretty much eliminate the craving before it even has a chance to start.
Okay, so once you've set up your environment for success, the next piece of the puzzle is changing how you actually approach the work itself. Because it's not just about where you work, it's about how you work.
You know, a lot of distraction happens at the very beginning, when a task just feels way too big and overwhelming. Your brain kind of panics and immediately looks for an escape route. But just look at the difference here. On one side, you have this huge, scary goal like, I'll study for 2 hours. On the other, the mini-goal method says, I'll just read 3 pages. See the difference? Finish this whole chapter feels impossible.
I'll write one paragraph? Hey, I can do that. This makes any task feel way more manageable.
Now, what if we take that mini goal idea and put it on a timer? This brings us to the 25-5 focus system, which you probably know as the Pomodoro technique. And listen, this system is one of the most famous productivity hacks for really good reason. It lines up perfectly with how our brains naturally like to work, in short, intense bursts.
The way it works is incredibly simple. First, you just work with intense focus for 25 minutes, no interruptions. Then, you take a quick 5-minute break. You repeat that cycle 4 times, and after that, you get to take a longer, well-deserved break, like 15 or 30 minutes. The real magic here is that your brain knows a break is just around the corner. That little promise of a rest makes it so much easier to stay on task.
So, designing your environment and mastering your method. Those are huge, powerful first steps. But if we want to make focus feel truly automatic, something we don't even have to think about, then we need to talk about building lasting habits.
So, what's a focus ritual? Well, think of it like a warm-up for your mind. It's just a small, repeatable routine that you do every single time before you sit down to do focused work. Over time, doing this little ritual becomes a powerful trigger that basically sends a signal to your brain saying, all right, it's time to concentrate now. And look, your ritual doesn't have to be this big, complicated thing at all. It can be something as simple as playing some calm instrumental music, or taking 3 deep breaths, maybe stretching for just 20 seconds, drinking a glass of water, or even just always sitting in the same dedicated study spot. The key here is consistency, not complexity. And finally, to really lock in that new habit, you've got to reward your brain. After you finish a focus session or complete one of your mini goals, do something you actually enjoy. This creates a really powerful positive feedback loop, and it starts to teach your brain to associate the act of focusing with a pleasant outcome.
So if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's to be kind to yourself. Remember, getting distracted is natural. It's a normal part of being human. But focus. Focus is not some magical talent that you're either born with or you're not. It is a skill. And just like any other skill, it's something you can absolutely train and strengthen with the right kind of practice.
And hey, you don't have to do everything all at once. Small steps are what lead to big changes. So think about everything we just talked about: designing your environment, using those mini goals, starting a focus ritual. My question for you is, what is the one habit you're going to build first? What's the one small change you'll commit to starting today?